Yeah, I'm going for the continuation of that fraud amount. Okay. Now, what are the main essential elements are over, and what is the effect? Contract induced by fraud is voidable at the option of the other party, and until it is avoided, it is valid. The remedies for this are okay. A contract, when you make a contract, it is said to be void contract. Contract induced by fraud is voidable at the option of the other party. If you don't like, he will make it invalid, and if he like that, he will continue that. At the option of the other party, and until it is avoided, it is valid. Until it is avoided, it is said to be valid. The remedies for this are what are the remedies? The party can rescind the contract within reasonable time. Rescind. The party can rescind, change. The party can rescind the contract within reasonable time. You must be in a position to change that. This is the remedy. Second one, he must insist on the performance of the contract and see that he must be placed in an advantageous position when representation is true. So the second thing is you have to keep me in you better continue the contract. But thing is you have to keep me in an advantageous position when the representation is true. Okay, what advantages I'm going to get, what advantages I'm going to receive. You have to keep me in that stage. Now, exceptions. When the consent of the party was caused by fraud, it should discover the truth by ordinary diligence. When you come across that it is committed by fraud, when it is done by fraud, okay, it should discover the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? You have to observe by diligence, by dialogues, diligence, by conversating. When a party enters into contract in ignorance of representation, when a party enters into contract in ignorance of representation, before contract is avoided, the interest of third parties intervene. See the peculiarity. Before contract is avoided, the interest of third parties they will intervene, they will interfere. When a consent of party was caused by fraud, cannot be put into the position of representation is true. When a consent of a party was caused by fraud, okay, caused by fraud, cannot be put into the position of representation is true. Whatever he heard is true. He cannot. So the differences between misrepresentation and fraud. Misrepresentation. First one. There is a misstatement or concealment of material fact which is essential to the just hear me. Sorry. Okay. There is a misstatement or concealment of material fact which is essential to the contract without any intention to deceive the other party. In misrepresentation, you won't come across deceiving of the other party. Okay, in fraud, the intention is to deceive the other party wantedly. Okay, second difference. It is innocent. Out of innocence, you'll come across misrepresentation. It is willful. When you go for fraud, it is willful, wantedly. Next, third difference. Person making the session believes it to be true. Who is giving the session, he believes that it is true. Okay, when you go for fraud, person does not believe it to be true. Person does not believe it to be true. This is the third difference that we come across. Next, fourth one. The aggrieved party can rescind the contract and no damages can change. The aggrieved party can change the contract and no damages. You won't come across any damages because it was done by innocence. Not only rescinding the contract but also claim damages. Not only change the contract but also go for damages. That is the fourth difference that we come across. The aggrieved fifth one is the aggrieved party can avoid the contract if it is made, if it is if it had the means to discover the truth by ordinary diligence. The aggrieved party can avoid the contract if it had the means to discover the truth by ordinary diligence, by ordinary observations. When he come to know that this thing is not correct, then he can avoid the contract. The contract is avoidable even the aggrieved party had the means of discovering the truth. The contract is avoidable even the aggrieved party even the aggrieved party had the means of discovering the contract. Okay, avoidable. There is a lot of difference between avoid and avoidable. It is at the option of the other party only. So these are the differences that we come across between misrepresentation and fraud. And the last one we are going, that is mistake. Okay, ma? The last one we are going, that is nothing but the mistake. Mistake is erroneous belief about something. Erroneous belief about something. It is divided into two types: mistake of law and mistake of fact. See the peculiarity. Mistake is erroneous belief about something. Okay. It is divided into two types: mistake of law and mistake of fact. First one, mistake of law, is again divided into two types: mistake of law of the country, mistake of the law of foreign country. Okay, when you don't know the law of a country, then it is a mistake. At the same time, when you don't know the law of foreign country, that is also one thing. Mistake of the law of the country. Ignorantia juris non excusat. In the beginning only I told you. Ignorance of law is not excusable. You cannot say that I don't know anything about law. Ignorantia juris non excusat means ignorance of law, it is not excusable. Example: A and B enter into contract on the erroneous belief that a particular debt barred, barred by the Indian law limitation. When they believe, okay, when they enter into a contract on the erroneous belief, okay, that a particular debt is barred by the Indian law of limitation. Okay, that is it. Mistake of the law of the foreign country. This is similar to that of mistake of fact and agreement is void. Okay, this is similar to that of mistake of fact and the agreement is void. It won't be valid. Now we are going for mistake of fact. It is divided into two types: bilateral mistake and unilateral mistake. Bilateral mistake means both the parties, when they do a wrong thing without knowing, then it is nothing but a bilateral mistake. Unilateral mistake means one party, when he commit mistake, then it is called as unilateral mistake. Bilateral mistake, when both the parties enter into an agreement or under a mistake as to a subject matter of fact. Okay, this is bilateral mistake and agreement is void. Two conditions have to be fulfilled. The mistake must be mutual on both the parties. Okay, the mistake must be mutual. The mistake must reveal and must relate to a matter of fact essential to an agreement. The mistake must relate to a matter of fact essential to an agreement. Okay. Now there is a case: Galloway versus Galloway. Galloway, Galloway, Galloway versus Galloway. A man and woman enter into separation agreement where the man agreed to pay weekly allowances to the woman, mistakenly believing themselves as lawfully married. See the peculiarity. A man and woman entered into separation agreement. They want to go for a separation agreement where the man agreed to pay weekly allowances to the woman, mistakenly believing themselves as lawfully married. They are not lawfully married, Amma. But both the people, okay, mistakenly they entered into an agreement. Then the agreement is not said to be valid. Judgment. The agreement is void as there was mutual mistake on the part of fact, which was the which was material to the existence of the agreement, which was the material to the existence of the agreement. This is about the case Galloway versus Galloway. Mistake has to subject matter. First thing is, it should be to the subject matter. It should not go away from the subject matter. Mistake as to the existence of subject matter. A non-existence of subject matter makes the agreement void. Mistake as to the identify of subject matter. When one party intends to deal in one thing and the other party intends to deal with another, the agreement is void. Mistake as to the quality of subject matter. When the subject, what the parties thought of the agreement is void. Mistake is to the quantity of subject matter. If both parties are working under mistake as to the quantity of subject matter, the agreement is void. Mistake as to the title of subject matter. If the seller is selling a thing which is not entitled to sell and both the parties are acting under a mistake, the agreement is void. Mistake as to the price of the subject matter. If there is a mutual mistake as to the price of subject matter, the agreement is void. Okay, this is about mistake as to subject matter. Next, mistake as to possibility of performance. Contract 2 will be nullified if both parties believe that an agreement is capable of being performed. In fact, this is not the case. When they think that it is possible, actually it is impossible. The agreement is void on the grounds of possibility. Impossibility of performance is divided into three types: physical impossibility, legal impossibility, and supervised impossibility. Supervene, not supervised, supervene impossibility. Okay, this is about the things. Now, unilateral mistake. When one of the parties is mistaken regarding the subject matter or an expression or understanding a term called as unilateral mistake. The contract is not voidable because it was caused by one of the parties under a mistake as to the subject matter. Example: A offers to sell his house for B for an intended amount of rupees 44,000. By, by mistake, he makes an offer in writing as 40,000. He cannot plead the mistake as a defense. He cannot plead the mistake as a defense because it is nothing but a mistake by one party. Exceptions. To this unilateral mistake, also, you will come across some exceptions. An unilateral mistake is not allowed as a defense in avoiding the contract, but in some cases, the consent given by a party under a mistake is so fundamental that it goes to the root of the contract and agreement is void. Even though unilateral mistake exists in the following cases, the contract is void. A unilateral, again I'm reading, a unilateral mistake is not allowed as a defense. Offense and defense is not allowed as a defense in avoiding the contract, but in some cases, the consent given by a party under a mistake is so fundamental that it goes to the root of the contract, very beginning, and agreement is void, even though unilateral mistake exists in the following cases. The contract is void. Second point, mistake as identified mistake as identified by a person contracted with the basic of law is that if one of the parties represents himself to be the same person other than he really is, then the contract is It is not a unilateral mistake. Mistake as identification of a person contracted with the basic of law is that if one of the parties represents himself to be the same person other than he really is. Example: A intends to contract with B but finds that he was contracted with C. See the Wikirati. There is no contract if the identity of B was a material element of the contract. Material element of the contract. This is it. Next, mistake has to be the nature of contract. If a person enters into contract, then the mistake in belief of that he is signing a different document of different class and character. There is a mistake as to the nature of contract, and the contract is void. If a person enters into contract, then the mistake in believing, in believe, in believing of that he is signing a different document or different class and character. There is a mistake as to the nature of contract, and the contract is void. This is about the mistake that we come across. And tomorrow we are going for a new topic that is nothing but discharge of contract. Okay, and stopping here, and tomorrow we are going